entertainers and sports persons. Quite an interesting article. And two clauses 71 and 17(2) are S X resident of R and he is an entertainer or he is a sports person. He can be both. He can be an entertainer and sports person, that is also fine. But he is an entertainer or a sports person. Entertainer and or sports person, fine. Resident of R, he goes to S. And he gives a performance. Performance can be entertainment performance. Performance can be a sports performance. He can participate in a sporting event. Fine. In any case, whatever it is, because when we will discuss the commentary and the subsequent discussion, we'll find that entertainment activities and sporting activities, they are dealt with in together, but then they are separate paragraphs. Fine. So I'm combining because I'm trying to give you the gist of the article, that who will ultimately get the right of taxation. So X, resident of state R, he goes to state S and gives a performance as an entertainer or a performance as a sports person. Fine. So he goes here. He goes to state S. Right. Performance. And because of this performance, certain income would accrue to him. Fine. 17, Article 17.1 as well as 17.2. Article 17 says that in such a case, the income which is accruing to X on account of his personal performance, S will get the right to tax. S may tax. I mean, because it is a source state, the word used is not a shall, it is may tax, but then S will get the right to tax. Right? So in this case, Article 17 will allocate the right of taxation over the income which is derived by X, who is the resident of state R, when he gives an entertainment performance in state S. Article 17 gives the right to taxation of this income to state S. Fine. Now, entertainer, I told you, entertainers and sports person. Now, when the performance is being talked about, for entertainers, sports person we'll see afterwards. When the performance is being talked about for entertainers, then whatever performance, because see, performance is, we understand, was a loose meaning of the term performance, but then if that term performance is being applied in the article, so we need to have a very clear cut, as clear concept as possible. So as far as the application of the word performance in this Article 17 is concerned, we are basically looking at the performance that should have an entertainment character. And the word for entertainment in Hindi, I mean, that is manoranjan, right? So when you are talking about the performance of an entertainer, so that performance which this X is giving in state S, if it is to be classified as an entertainment performance, then that has to have a character of entertainment. Fine. First point. Second point, as we will see in the discussion of the commentary, we will find that whatever income is accruing to him, whatever income is accruing to this X, this income should have a close connection. This should have a close connection, and close connection is very clear, close connection. But close connection with whom? There should be a close connection between the income which is flowing to X, and the performance, his personal performance which he is giving in state S. So it has to be a close connection between the performance, his activities, his personal activity. He should be working. He should be acting, dancing, singing, doing something. His personal individual performance, between his performance and the income. So it has to be a close connection. Very, very important concept. Close connection. Right? So these are these different concepts which I am giving to you. Okay. Another concept which is being used here in this Article 17, we understand that S is getting the right to tax, and there has to be a close connection between the income which is flowing to X in respect of his performance. Fine. Okay. Okay, what else? There can also be a situation wherein this X and income doesn't directly flow to X. But income flows to some other company. For example, there's a company and this income flows to this company, and then this company would pay him X. Right? In the first case, income was directly flowing to X, but in this case I am saying that there is a company. So in this situation as well, S will get the right to tax. And what is the exact wording? We'll take care of that when we will go to Article 17. 17 point. In fact, this case is specifically covered by 17.2. 17.1 says that income which accrues to X. Fine. 17.2 will give you this example that if the income is not directly flowing to X, but there is some company, then even in this case, S will get the right to tax. Right? Okay. And since I mentioned that there has to be a close connection between the performance of X and the income which he earns because of his performance, you know what? Then this close connection, I'll give an example. Supposing you have Dubai, very, very important destination, and you have cricketing matches and tournaments, and Indian BCCI is the richest cricketing board of the world. Indian cricketers are treated like almost like gods. Almost like gods in India, and having huge amount of money which they earn. But supposing the captain of Indian cricket team, along with the cricket team, goes to Dubai for playing some tournament. Fine. Okay. And before the tournament actually starts, he appears in certain commercials, some brand promotion, signs of some brand merchandise, sells of those associations. So he would earn the fees from those activities as well, and those activities are occurring immediately before the actual tournament. So even in this case, because I mentioned to you, close connection. So although signing off, endorsing some brand, endorsing some merchandise, that is not actual cricketing event. That is not actual sports. But because the income which is flowing to the captain, that is closely connected with the actual event. He went there for the actual event, and that endorsement, etc., was immediately associated with this event, with this actual cricketing tournament. So even that sort of income would be taxable. Article 17. So Article 17 has a very, very comprehensive scope, and this is actually quite reasonable, considering the fact that sports person or even entertainers nowadays, they simply they do multiple activities. And if you find, the crux is, if you find that those multiple activities are associated with their performance, with their actual performance, with their individual personal performance, and there is a close connection between the income which they are getting out of that performance, then ultimately the country or the state in which that performance is being given, that will get the right to tax. So this is the gist of Article 17. Although there are only 2 clauses, but then this is the gist. Fine. Is this clear to all of you? And then we'll go to Article 17.